So is this your place?
No, I just didn't want you to know where I actually live.
Yeah. You know, I noticed on your profile that it said that a sense of humor was really important to you, and I'm not feeling that.
Yeah, I sense. You're more like a source of humor. Like it just keeps coming out.
A lot of jokes, huh?
A lot of jokes.
Well, I'm a professional, so. So should I come in, or can I?
Oh, no. No.
No, we shouldn't do that. Not this early. Should let this grow.
See you later.
Sure, if I'm around the area, I'll stop by, or... Good night, then. Oh, that went well. Hey,
You want to buy a steering wheel?
you know what? I don't need one. You know what? You could have my wallet. I gave that up pretty easily.
Free karate lesson.
Oh, that's right, I have that show tonight. Ugh, he was a fan. And he had a date. Ugh.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Chris Fairbanks!
Yep. Yeah, that's warranted. That's appropriate. Thank you. That's what I expected. It was horrifying out there, right? I mean, just in general. Who's been crying a lot? Just every morning. Who wakes up and your eyes open and there's tears in them already? Anyone? Men. Show of hands of men that cry. Comfortable with Lynn? No? No one? Everything's fine. You're right. Everything's good. We're in good hands. This is the only place I feel comfortable. For a lot of people, this is the biggest fear in America, public speaking. Have you heard that? That's the number one, it's the most popular of fears. And then heights after that, which, neither of them are that scary, right? I think we can all agree right now in this room that our biggest fear in America is getting tipped over while sitting in a porta potty. Right? Imagine it. Are you thinking about it? Pretty scary. I've gotten close a couple times. Just a slight jostling. Stop it, you guys. Like at a wedding. It's usually at a wedding. Maybe my biggest fear is all my friends are assholes. And they're getting married. How are they getting married? I'm not. I'm okay, though. I work through depression and things. Is it too early to say that happens to me? Go to the gym quite a bit. I'm there all the time. Sometimes I wake up there. It's a 24-hour gym. No, gym is just what I named my bed. I get out of him, in it, get in him. What? That sounds weird. Or gay, I guess. But that's not weird. Gay isn't weird. That's great. I'm not gay, but if I was, that'd be terrific. Really. But I'm not. I haven't been, so that's been pretty cool. But if I was, you bet. Come on, bring it on. But I'm not, so that's been all right. But if I was gay, fuck yeah, right? Woo! But I'm not, so But if I was, woo! What if I came out that way? Just gradually on stage with my own questions that I'm asking myself in my head. I look down, my dad's in the audience. He does a spit take into my other dad's face. And I'm like, I thought you were just Gary from The Office. The point is, I'm not gay. It's just my penis has a bit of a sweet tooth. And I don't know what that that just, don't think of it. Don't imagine, that's too late. You're looking right at it. Just the tooth at the end. Don't look at it. Let's cover it up with something. Maybe an apple. I don't know. Slowly rotate it. I guess all I'm saying is I'd like to go to Hawaii. I do swim quite a bit. I've been swimming. I go to 24-hour fitness. So, you know, if you get that itch to go swim, anytime, really. It's almost too many hours, 24. I'd be okay if 24-hour fitness became 23-hour fitness. If it meant they just take that extra hour to clean some of the Band-Aids out of the pool, that'd be okay. Just half of them. I didn't go to one pool party this summer. Yeah, I know. I feel like well, you gotta be careful of pool parties these days. Back in the 90s, it was great. It's fun for everyone. Pools, carefree. You could even see your friend fully clothed, and you could just push him in, remember? Push him in the pool. He came up all wet, laughing. I'm wet. Oh, what a great time to be alive. Not anymore. You can't just push. Everyone in their pocket has a $1,000 computer. I mean, old people, you can push the old people. You know what? I've thought about it. Don't push old people into pools. Because in their pocket, there might be an unlaminated Social Security card. And now you're looking at a federal offense, Buster Brown. Fazzle Duke. I was made breakfast in bed, and I realize that's a weird sentence. I was made breakfast in bed. I was made it. It's weird. I've heard of it, but I had never been made breakfast in bed. And I've never had a surprise party. I've been to surprise parties. I've hidden behind friends' couches, jumped up and said surprise, but never experienced. That's, you know, and this isn't a hint. I don't, you know. But I do feel a little bad because now, as everyone else yells surprise, I like to yell, "Why has no one ever done this for me?" But breakfast in bed is weird. When you finally have it, it's like, whoa, you wake up and there's just food on your tits. It's like eggs. It's a weird concept, breakfast in bed, if you think about it. Because it's almost like you're saying, well, it's Saturday. I think today I want to pretend I'm dying in the hospital. Yeah. So I want to... What? Of course a bedpan. It's Father's Day, isn't it? Get in here, you kids. Whose kids are these? I don't have kids. Get the hell out of my bedroom. I want to have kids, but that sounds weird when you're just yelling that with a mustache, like in a mall. It just all of a sudden happened one day. I'm like, I should have one of you. I shouldn't say that. But I feel comfortable around them all of a sudden. It's just like, you know, I've reached that age. You know, I'm 43. Thanks. Lotion mostly. But I see kids like on a plane or something, you know, when you're like playing peekaboo with some kid, because they focus on me, man. In a mall even, I'm just flanked by them. I'm like, hey, one at a time. Who are you guys? I like kids. And I know that sounds weird. I talk to kids anywhere, man. Inevitably, the dad comes over, though, and they feel weird, just like you guys do right this second. They'll be like, oh, quit talking to my kid. It's like, come on, I'm not trying to molest your kid. He's a redhead. I just want to... I don't like that joke. I don't like my own joke. The redheads we know grow up to be beautiful adults, but the kids, right? No thanks. He doesn't have eyebrows. Can we put him back? He's not done baking. I think he's left-handed. That's awful. I don't know. I want to have him, but I don't know if I can. I haven't had any false alarm. Like, is anyone here a doctor? When I climax, nothing comes out. Is that bad? Nothing comes out. There is a loud bang and a puff of smoke, and then a flag unfurls, and it says jizz on it. It's like a cartoon. Everyone here circumcised? You gotta do it. You don't want your dick to look weird. That's why people do, right? Circumcision, I don't understand it. There's like tradition. Is that a good reason? Religion, sure, you can have those reasons. But a lot of people are like, cleanliness. He'll learn to wash. Someone will teach him to, or you should, not someone, just someone teaching your kid to wash his dick. Some guy with a briefcase, door to door. Just came to teach your kid how to bathe. Get off my lawn. That's his father's job. I said to my friend, like, why did you circumcise your kid? He's like, well, I just want my son to have a penis that looked like his dad's. And I'm like, that's the weirdest thing. What? When are they ever going to be next to each other? Ever. What are you, posing for a horrible Christmas photo? Like, I've never seen my dad's dick. Never once. Didn't have to try hard not to. Normal childhood. Didn't have a pool house. Like, well, let's take a photo. Bring the uncles in here, too. We'll line it in holly. It's a family dick Christmas. Family dick Christmas. It's a lot to worry about, though, kids. You know. I found a cactus the other day on the sidewalk. It was all gray, and I took it in. It was a rescue cactus. I hate that term, rescue, like rescue animal. It's like, what, was he trying to jump off a bridge? It's not worth it, kitty. Anyway, I brought this cactus. After a week, it was looking pretty good. I watered it once. I'm like, hey, we're off to the horse races. And then 1 week later, 2 weeks total, dead. Just a dead cactus. It's fun to find out you're less nurturing than the desert. I went to the barkeep, their barkeep. I'm from the 1820s, by the way. Just come to different barkeeps. I just came to warn you townfolk of a flood coming. Sandbag it up, sarsaparilla. So I went to the bartender, if you want to be all futuristic with your DeLoreans, and I was like, mix me up a, hey, do you ever say something stupid and then you're too proud to be admitting that you're an idiot, so you just stick with it? I go, I'll have a Neapolitan. And then he's like, you mean cosmopolitan? Nope. Sir. Neapolitan. I know what I want, I know what I get. What's that, what's in it? I don't know, that's your job, man. Whiskey, tequila, I don't know, chloroform maybe. I know I drink a couple and I wake up in a field somewhere, some guy runs away. You know what I'm talking about. You specifically. Sorry, it's rude to point. You wake up and the sun's beaming down on your ass because your pants are inevitably down by your ankles. You know, you do. And, sorry. And then you tan your back brown, you burn your ass bright pink. Ouch! And then your legs stay vanilla white. And that's a Neapolitan. That's a ice cream joke I wrote in 5th grade. You know, a lot of people don't peak with their writing in 5th grade, but you don't know where I've been. That's right. I've had a rough life. A friend of mine, or a guy, or somebody somewhere got bit by a shark. Ooh. Talk about a raw deal. A shark bite. Right in the torso. Maybe the worst part of your body, you know, when it comes to shark bites. Neck down, waist up. No, thank you, Mr. Shark Man. And with a lot of these problems in life, like shark bites, people are always like, well, it's either sink or swim. Not with sharks, ironically. Don't swim. Don't. They're better. All sharks are better. You could be Michael Phelps, and even a hammerhead will be like, hey, I got him. You should sink. Actually, I've thought about this a lot. If a shark's coming, just be like, well, fuck it. And get underwater. See, now you can keep your eyes open. You can see him coming. A lot of amateurs are like, oh, where's that fin? Like in a movie on the... Get down. Look right at him. You'll know what to do instinctively as a human. I've thought about this a lot. What do? You wind up, first of all. And you punch. Where do you punch him? Does anyone know? If you want to make him mad, you punch him right in the gills, and you grab it, reach in, grab his brain, pull it out, show it to his eyes at the last second. If you do it fast enough, his synapses will still be firing. He'll be like, is that my brain? It's like, too late, motherfucker. And then you shove it in his blowhole. I haven't done a lot of research. I wonder if the police departments everywhere could start doing a better job at monitoring who they're selling their used cop cars to. While we're driving, you look in the rear view and you're like, well, I know what this guy's, he's a cop. But sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it's a taxi and you're like, oh, you got me this time, taxi man. And then other times it pulls up and it is indeed a cop car. But it's a little, the lamp that's used for finding bodies in a ditch, that's tilted down. That's all you have to legally do, I guess, when you're pretending to be a cop. Is tilt down that lamp. And then the door, it's still a black and white car, but the door just has a haphazard X spray painted on it. And then you look and the driver's just a fucking murderer. Just a bearded, where's the nearest graveyard? Easy, hatchet, man. I mean, maybe not a murderer, but someone with a Boost mobile phone. You know, someone with... Do you ever say something about someone and then you're like, say your friend is here and this guy's an asshole, and you're like, hey man, what's up with the asshole? You put the hand on the wrong side, it bounces off, hurts his feelings. I mean, he's an asshole, but he doesn't need to be hurt. It's hard to remember. Like, a lot of times on stage, I'll be like, I can't multitask. Like, there's been times where I talk into my drink and then go to take a sip of the microphone. You know, like, you forget when you get frazzled, or where are my sunglasses? They're on your head, Grandpa. Or I did this one the other day. It's so embarrassing. I threw my phone into the river and put the murder weapon up to my ear. It's like, mix up. I don't like guns. I've never been comfortable. I was handed one once, and I was like, I don't like it. I dropped it. It went off, hit an uncle. But the point is, don't care for them. But I'm a hypocrite. I eat fish and chickens. I'll kill a chicken, though. I'll kill it right now. Bring out that chicken. But I don't know. I went fishing for the first time, like on a boat it's a good way to do it. It was like a chartered boat, though. There was all these, like, professional fishermen, and I just bought a pole. You had to buy a certificate of some kind, and you get on this boat, and then you go out to the middle of the ocean, and in a trough, they reveal the bait, which is a live sardine, like fish swimming around, living in what they think is harmony with squid. Just squid and fish making friends, and everyone was doing it, everyone on the boat, picking them up, flopping around, putting a big brass hook in their head. And I was like, so now I'm in like a hand-to-hand murder situation. And I grabbed one, and I kept saying, sorry. He didn't seem to mind. He didn't blink once. But at first, I was like, I'm sorry every time. But around the 7th time, I'm like, right in the eye, fucker. And then, you get used to there's blood on my hands. And I'm not kidding. This is a real story. Everything's been fake up till now. But the fish was flopping, it's on the hook, I cast it, and then this bird, this beautiful, like an albatross or just a seagull that really took care of himself, swept down, and in midair, as I cast, swallowed the fish. And that hook, need I remind you of the hook? I saw it cartoonishly go down his throat. And then I'm just flying a bird like a kite. Everyone thought I caught a fish. They, like, all the fishermen were like, oh, you got a big one. And then they're like, what? And he's trying to go the opposite direction of me. But I'm reeling him in while crying. I was crying because my fishing just escalated to hunting. Do you realize what happened? And I was trying to get him. I can't. It makes me bummed to think about it. I wanted to get my finger in his beak. And then the head fishing man, I think that was his name, he came along, and right when he's near me, he clipped the line. I was like, and the bird, buddy, flew away. And I was like, well, he'll be all right. He's flying. And he's like, nah, that's a dead bird. Yeah. Dead bird flying. What's with all these owls graduating from something? I mean, every time I see an owl, yep, he's got a graduation hat. I haven't seen you on campus all year, yet here you are at the commencement ceremony with your tassel to the right. What's your major, owl? If you're so goddamn smart. I first got interested in anatomy when I puked up my first intact mouse skeleton, but now my passion is into statistics. You see, I started monitoring my Tootsie Pop licks. What do you think of that 20-year-old candy commercial reference? It's gonna hit home for a lot of people. You know what? Fuck birds. I don't care about birds. Weird. They make creepy pets. Who has... I don't understand having a bird as a pet. Right? It's like, hey, bird, how about I buy you, put you in a cage your whole life, and I just kind of watch on the other side of the room in a Florida apartment. What do you say, bird? Huh? Oh, no. No. No, thank you. I don't like it. That's the cool thing about bird, like a cockatoo or a parrot. You can teach them to talk. That might be kind of fun. Actually, that'd be fun to have a parrot and then teach them to say, help, I used to be a man and a curse was put on me. I miss my wife. Everyone would be like, hey, cool bird, man. I don't know. I don't like, the more I think about it, I don't like birds. I hate eagles. The band. Did you know the band is called Eagles? Seriously, they're not called the Eagles. They're just called Eagles, man. Fuck you, old farts. I'm sorry. I don't like the music of the Eagles. I really don't. I don't think anyone my age does really like the music of the Eagles, just because it makes us think of our dads driving drunk on a windy road, top down, wind in the hair. Shirt open. Why are you wearing a medallion? You should have a care in the world. How about Mom? Eye of the Tiger is kind of a ridiculous song. It's a dumb song. It's a very white song. But there's no one that doesn't love it. Like Eye of the Tiger, right? Eye of the Tiger comes on and anyone that hears it is like, fuck yeah, man. Today's the day. What are we doing? Like, you never play it on purpose. No one owns Survivor and time to listen to Eye of the Tiger. It's 2 p.m. It pops up on the radio and you're like, fuck, now? Where is it? Where is he? It just comes on. And then you're like, all right. And you drive shitty. Usually Eye of the Tiger comes on and I just end up eating hot soup too fast. Do you ever have 3 or 4 drinks and then you're like, well, better not drive home, so you have 3 or 4 more to build the courage to do it? That's about a friend of mine. He's not a friend, he's an idiot. I don't even want to talk about that guy. I'm more of a social drinker. However, I'm very private about my crack use. The point... If you work in a restaurant and you come up and you're like, be careful, this plate is very hot. I can't stress enough. This is a smoldering hot, lava hot plate. I'm still gonna slowly rest my face on it. You were right! You were right! Did you hear that? Reggae, another type of music I don't like. I feel bad, I always feel guilty that I don't like. I mean, I like Bob Marley, but I don't like someone that looks like me singing, like a white guy singing reggae. You could have the most Irie lifestyle, island lifestyle, and I'm not talking about Snow, the great Canadian informer, but just a guy with a white guy with dreadlocks. We're in Portland. I know Whitey has dreadlocks, but you should not be so Irie that you, there I'd go again. It's so funny, my struggle with I don't like I'm good at country. I don't like country either. I like the old shit, but I don't, and I'll give you a small sample. Just, hello, down by the holler, fuck, something about a truck. I don't know, I haven't written anything, but you can tell by my voice I should have an album. And then with Ray, it's just like, I don't want to hear, it's just some guy from Vermont playing hacky sack, and then he's like, well, gotta go do my reggae concert. And it's like, can I stop you? No one really wants to hear a white guy sing reggae, but, I happen to be very good at it, but I'm not gonna bore you with that. Maybe a little, I don't know, I guess I already feel better just with that sample, but it's not, no one that looks like, Mount Zion, Mount Zion. It's a national park in Utah. Boo. I went there with my parents on a vacation styly, Miley, Cyrus, Osiris, O'Leary, rippity. Stand up for blue eyes. Boo. Is this how reggae guys stand? Is this how reggae guys sing? I guess I feel good right now, and so maybe that's what it's all about. But I shouldn't be the one saying, ultimate frisbee. Riding on a scooter, selling weed out my dorm room. Boo, bitty. Something about a lion. Just a vague mention of a lion. I'm enjoying myself. I have the tiger. I tiger. Okay, sorry. I can't not. What if I never stop singing reggae in my life? Yeah, have you heard this white gay reggae? He's amazing. Marley and me, you and Dupree. What are my favorite movies? I desperately want black people to like me. All right. Well, I learned a lot about myself during that. There's a lot of TV shows that people get mad at you for having never watched. One of them's The Wire. Another one's Sopranos. Or Sopranos, depending on where you live. And Game of Thrones. I never cared about Game of Thrones. I was like, I don't care about that Harry Potter dragon shit. But then I took a nap, a 2-week one. I had a fever. I was sick. And I watched all of Game of Thrones, years of it, all in one sweaty laydown session. And I got it right away. I'm like, this is hard to follow. And really good. Like, the acting's great, the script writing's great, everyone looks great. Naked, just tits and dicks flying around everywhere. And then a child murders an adult, and you're like, that's a first. And then a guy's brains get squished out of his eyes. Maybe the worst way to lose your brains. And then there's a dragon again. You're like, I'm just saying, you really have to pay attention to the plot when you're watching Game of Thrones. Otherwise, you end up masturbating to something horrifying. Right in that moment, you're like, I know where this is going, zip. No, I didn't. You did. But if you see a guy's brains get squished out his eyes right as you're coming, you just changed your whole lifestyle. Your dick just got specific. I was raised not to be wasteful. And so whenever I have a plate of food, even if I'm full, I eat the rest of it. And then later I'm like, why do my tits jiggle when I drive? But I'm that same way with alcohol, too. It's so funny. Like, all my friends will be like, yeah, let's get out of here. And they'll have that much beer left. And I'm like, yeah, I'll join you guys in a minute. And I drink all their... Does that mean I have a problem? Probably. I drink all their beers. And then they're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, yeah, there's sober kids in Africa. Other than the one where your teeth are falling out and your hands are melting, you look down, your legs are that of a veiny horse, and you look over, your dad's driving. You're on a tugboat. He's your dad, and then he's a tugboat captain with a different face, and then he's you, but with a chicken body. Other than that one, it's important to follow your dreams. A lot of people compliment my nails, and I do get it. They are beautiful. They are white at the tip, white at the cuticle. I do nothing. I actually chew my nails quite. I know it's a gross habit, but I'm good. It's pop, pull, perfect edge, you know? And old ladies are like, I like your nails, and I like your hair. It's like, stop trying to fuck me, old lady. So it's so funny that I don't know. I think I want to open a salon where women just sit in chairs and I come up and I chew their nails for them. It's good to see you again, Gladys. It is gross. It is gross to say. Oh, your nervousness is my beauty secret. Sit down, ma'am. We still have to do your feet. I got on a plane with an old lady once, and She was really old. Like she was like 85, maybe 90, chopsticks in her hair, adorable. And she had a brand new iPhone, newer than mine. I'm like, what? And she was downloading new apps. And then she goes, I keep booty calling everyone. I was like, what? She's like, yeah, sometimes I'll look down at my pants and my phone's calling my daughter. It's like, oh, I booty called my daughter again. I was like, no. And then she said, I was like, you mean, I think you mean butt dial. And she's like, well, what's the difference? Can you tell me? And I was like, sure. A butt dial's what you've been doing. The end. She's like, what's a booty call? And I'm like, all right. She's so cute. And I was like, well, ma'am, a booty call is when a woman, not unlike yourself, no matter the age, suddenly needs the late night sexually specific attention of one of perhaps many male suitors. And she's like, oh, I've been doing that since you had to call an operator. And that's when I went to my MySpace page. Have you guys been to your MySpace page? Holy shit, what a mess, right? I went to my MySpace page and it's now a Halloween store. There's a lot of memories that I've buried and then they end up surfacing later. It's like part of life, like you forget about things and then they come up quite vividly. And something came up pretty vividly and now I know I'll never forget it. I was like 12 and my parents walked in on me while masturbating. And yeah, I'll never forget it now, you know, me laying in bed, looking up, suddenly there were my parents in the doorway. Like I said, they were masturbating. And that's just a classic switcheroo. Usually someone's in a room masturbating. It's never the parents like, hey, you doing your homework? Mom did it all dad style. The point is don't walk in and out of room and don't masturbate. What are we, all sinners? It's gonna happen though. You're gonna walk in the room on someone if it hasn't happened already, and it's a horrible situation, and you don't know. Most people, when you walk in the room, someone's masturbating, out of kindness, you'll be like, oh, I'm sorry. And then it's weird for them and you. Don't yell sorry. If you walk in the room, someone's masturbating, just keep walking in the room. And look right at them. And say this, it's kind of important. Go, hey, have you seen my strongly prescription eyeglasses anywhere? My very, very thick, no, I wear them all the time. You haven't seen them? Well, I could use your help. You know, when you're done cleaning that gun. And then you gotta fall down some stairs if they're available. Gotta sell that shit, you gotta sell that shit. Boop, boop. Now I feel good again. You know, I've been wearing a ski mask around my house, because if someone does break in, won't they be surprised? Does this make anyone nervous? Just my hand in my sweatshirt like that? What if you worked in a bank? How about that? Hey, how's it going? I'm just trying to make a deposit of lead in your body. All right, it's my phalanges. Fingers, sorry. I was almost a doctor. I went to a doctor. Wow, that's a good segue. I woke up, and this starts scary or gross, but it ends fine, so don't. Anyway, I woke up, and there was a blister. Right on my dick. And I, don't panic, it's fine. Come on, settle down, we're all doctors. And I was like, well, okay, that, I remember when this happened, probably a month ago. Now there's I guess I'm 1 in 3 people. I got the herpes, you know? Like my number got called, like at a shitty deli. And then, so I went to the Planned Parenthood and I was like, help me, help, look at it. I had it out already. And they were like, stay near the door. And the doctor, I'll never forget, she looked at it right away and she's like, that's a burn, there's singeing. you've burnt your penis. And you guys, I maybe do drink too much, but I also am a good roommate, and so when I use the bathroom to its full potential, and man, do I, you guys, I don't want to go off on a tangent, but there's something wrong with my BH. It goes, I'm sorry, but the other day I made such a mess in the toilet that I had to use the toilet brush on my back. Anyway, no, I don't like that joke. Anyway, so I light a match, and when I use the bathroom, and then I throw it not in the trash. What are you gonna start a fire? Don't be crazy. You throw it in the toilet, which I was sitting on, so I just kind of made a gap between my legs and threw a match exactly on my dick, like right on it for a second. Not a full second. I wasn't like, one Mississippi, the pain's subsiding. I was like, right away, like, hot dick, duly noted, and I flicked it off, and I heard it go in the water, and then I passed out on the toilet paper roll. That part's not important, but I forgot about all that until the doctor's like, hey, you burnt your dick, dummy. And then I had to be like, you know what? I do now quite vividly remember burning my own penis. I will leave now through the door I came through. Sorry, I tore down these posters. Then they give you a bag of condoms. They're like, thanks for coming. Even when I go in just for daily maintenance, or come on, yearly, they're like, here you go. And there's like 78 condoms in a bag. I don't like getting that many. It's like, oh, I could have a healthy, full life and not make it through all these. It's like buying mustard at Costco. It's like, I want this to be my last condom purchase. And then you look in, and they're gross condoms. They're like no brand name. They're colored. They're like yellow and green. And oh, great! I like to pretend my dick's at a birthday party. Like I don't fucking need. Do you know what I'm saying? This is a weird thing to take a stand. Red condoms. Get the hell out of here. No. You're like heat of the moment. It's kind of dark. It's okay. I got something. And just red. Even your dick's like, I'm done. I don't want to be, and you can tell it's like, oh, it's a little nice red. Yeah, who wants some cat dick? I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't want to do the cat dick, but let's talk about cat dicks for a minute. They are the worst dicks. When dicks got divvied out to animals, cats got a raw deal. Literally, they are barbed. They are the cat dicks. Break it down. Red, bright red, pointy, gross. I just spit because I'm salivating in not a I'm hungry way, in a I might throw up way, because I can't stop thinking about cat dicks. Barbed, I mentioned that. Shiny, we don't need pointy, shiny red cat dicks. I'm sweating now because I'm talking about cat dicks, and I really wish I hadn't started in the first place. But cat dick, we're in deep now, and let's just keep digging. Cat dick hole with a cat dick shovel and Cat Dick City. Welcome. Cat Dick City, can you hold, please? That's a guy with a terrible job where no one's buying anything because even cats are like, I got mine. It's the worst. All right, I'll take 3. The point, gross, in a bag. Oh, I'm gonna edit that out. The point is, cats are great. I like them. I do. A lot of people are like, no, cats are dicks. You're a dick and you pet them wrong. You can't. A lot of people are like, oh, nice cat, and they scratches you. Yeah, you can't get all tenacious on that D. You can't. Cats are, I like cat. I like how they're, dogs fucking love you all the time, and that's great. A lot of people love all the time, but there's maybe this has something to do with my relationships. But the dogs are like, I love you. Hey, just want you to let you know I still love you. I love you. I love him. That's my friend. Easy, desperado. You just fucking love everyone. A cat's like, I love you. Why don't you fuck off for 2 days, and I'll just stare at you like a murderer. How's that upper balcony doing? It's the first sound you've made all night. Sorry. I know. It's the acoustics. And I know that was Lindsay. I have friends in the world. I have a fucking new watch, and it is one of those bands, and it plucks My wrist hair's out, and I don't think I'll ever get used to it. It'd be weird if I did. What if well, I guess one day when it's plucked bald, I can finally live a normal life. But until then, it's like, hey, do you know where the bank is? Yeah, the bank. It's right around the... Fuck shit out. All right. Easy, crazy ass. I'll find the bank myself. And then finally it's plucked bald, and then I can be like, the bank? I'll point to it, I guess. It's to the left. Yeah, hairless. I am hairless. My whole body is. You wouldn't know, I'm clothed, but I went to art museum recently, and the woman at the door was like, wow, you have the body of Michelangelo's David. And I get it. I'm very muscular, I'm hairless, I'm pale, I'm smooth, and I'm missing most of my penis. But who wants to hear art history jokes? Not tonight. I was in line the other day, and there was a great deal on a 36, maybe more, 40-something, 48 pack of toilet paper. So I'm walking into line, and I had one other thing, like lip balm or some horrible... And I'm just holding, it's like holding 5 surfboards. Like, I'm like, hey, how... And then there was a girl in line that was beautiful, and I just abandoned it. I left it right in the line. I'm like, I don't shit. I don't even... have a butthole. I guess that's what I wanted her to think. Ooh, best case scenario. She thinks I'm sealed up back there like a Ken doll. It's just embarrassing. None of us like to admit that we go to the bathroom. It's disgusting. Something happens around wintertime, and it's cold enough here. You're around family, you end up eating summer sausage. Off season. And everyone's wearing Carhartts, and I'm not kidding. This really bothers me, and I'm not trying to be gross, but grown men constantly around this time of year are just farting in public. Every bar I walk into, I'm like, 7 farts. Like right away, I'm like, oh, okay. And it's the worst kind of that crop dusting thing where men just go, brah, brah, bop, bop. And then make a runaway and go across the street and then watch from a bush with binoculars. I think that's how it works. Yeah, he's walking through it. Come on, you coward. I'm a grown-up, and I occasionally will admit I let one pass. But I'm a man, and when I fart, I stand there. I'm like, well, it's my duty, and I kind of raise my hand in ownership and just kind of greet people as they walk into it. Just like, hey, how are you? And they're like, hey, good to see you. Jeez, what is that? It's a move I like to call cobwebbing. Like they just like, oh God, what the? Is it on me? Where is it? Do you see it? My fart turned to a spider. For that joke in your head, if you could just imagine it being some kind of a fart spider. I was asked to do this Cyndi Lauper show, and I showed up. It was a last-minute gig. And I said, sure, I can do it. And I drove all the way from Austin to Houston, and it was at a amphitheater, like a cell phone sponsored, they aren't paying me, I'm gonna say Verizon amphitheater. And I show up in the carny, or the roadies, whatever, same guy, really. If you think about roadies, it's like he's a carny half the year. And they were like, where's your guitar? You're opening, right? I'm like, I'm telling word jokes with my mouth face. They're like, all right, you go up in 5. I'm like, is no one going to introduce me? And they're like, you can introduce you. And I was like, that'll be awful. Because I like being able to see you, but if I can't see you, it's terrifying. So I walked out on stage to grab the mic, and they all started cheering like, that's Cyndi. It's like, that's not who I am. And then I went to introduce myself, but I thought I could hide, so I hid behind like a speaker. But there was only that much room. So my full body, I was just hiding with exactly my ass hanging out. And then this is kind of exactly what I said. I was like, hey, ladies and gentlemen, before tonight's main event, Celine Dion shit, I meant to say Cyndi Lauper. Wow! And they started booing like, fuck this guy. And then I was like, but first, a comedian, oh God, Chris Fairbanks. And then I walked out there like, who's that idiot that's about to have the same voice as me? And it did not go well. They were screaming, they were throwing things. It was terrible. I did my half hour, And then at the end, someone was like, hey, Cyndi peeked her head out during the show and you're fired. And I'm like, duly noted, that's what I would have done. I was promised a meal. And then they're like, all right. And they took me down this serpentine hallway, like there was all these roadie carnies, like, you ate it. And then I got to this room and it was like food hours ago, but at this point it was just a pile of Wilt Chamberlain lettuce, and then some dressing, and then some like cheese balls, like, ooh, Gouda. And so I made a salad, I put the cheese balls on it, I was eating it with all these crossed-armed dudes. And I got down to the 5th or 6th cheese ball when I realized I was eating butter. These is butter balls. I was eating margarine balls. Pressured to eat all of them. They're like, eat it all. I'm like, I want to throw up. That's how I like to wind down after a shitty show. I eat about a pound of butter. And I was fired from a whole tour. It would have been a great year. But then, about 2 weeks later, it was an outdoor concert, I think also in Texas, and this is YouTubeable, I think still. Cyndi Lauper was singing, and a bird flew by and shat into her open singing mouth. Like, she was like, like, put into her mouth. And I was reading it like, fucking, yeah. I guess birds just want to have fun too. You fire me. You fire me. I like when people go to New York for just a little amount of time and then come back all like, bada bing. You know what I mean? I had a friend, she lived here for a while. She went to like Ireland for like 3 weeks, and then she just came back for a year like, oh, shillelagh. I'm like, but a lot of people will live there for a while and then just, they don't realize they want to have an accent until they're talking to someone else from New York, you know what I mean? So they'll be talking to someone else and they're like, oh yeah, I moved to the Big Apple with the wife. I actually lived in New York City. And then they're like, oh really, what part? What part? I was there, over there on like 48th and fuck nuts. You were on 48th and fuck nuts? I had a cousin Vinny who lived over there. On 48th and fuck. You had a cousin Vinny? I had a guy making a pizza. I got marinara in my coily mustache. Hey, I just drove through on my way to Canada in my IROC. I came through to the old country. The Sicily boot kicked me. I've never been to New York. Just read in the newspaper there's as much bacteria on an ATM machine as a public toilet. And that is the last time I type in my PIN number with my penis. I like how Yamaha makes motorcycles, sure, but then also pianos. Same logo, same factory, I guess. Hey, Yamaha. Way to nail a non-existent demographic. Just nobody that likes both. Yet they're doing great. I've been by Yamaha stores where it's divided down the middle, it's a showroom, and there's a motorcycle on one side and a grand piano. What if you worked at Yamaha? You're a salesperson, and you sell a piano to like a concert pianist. And you're like, hey, enjoy tickling those keys, maestro. And then in your voice, you hear your boss like, be sure to upsell to the motorbikes. I don't think he's gonna, oh. Hey, piano man. How do you feel about the wide open road? Doesn't make sense. It's like if I went around with a trench coat and I'm like, hey man, you want to buy a watch? No? Hey, how about a ham sandwich? Well, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Be funny if right then I put on a condom. The point is, wear them or don't. I don't know. I don't know. I'm 43. What am I gonna? I'm not afraid of AIDS. I'm gonna just die right on schedule. Am I edgier than I think? I don't know how I'm gonna die, but I don't know. I think about it too much, but I have been planning my funeral, and it is gonna be spectacular. We're gonna cremate my legs, set those aside for a minute, and then gonna taxidermy, stuff my remaining torso like on a spring mechanism. So the casket will pop open, it'll go towards the audience. There'll be an audience, and then I'll pop up. Hey kids, there'll be kids, and I'll be holding a saxophone, so I'll pop up, and hey. That sounds more like a trumpet, but you know what I said. I'll be like, and then there'll be like a Chuck E. Cheese band behind me with Kiss makeup, like he's dead, he's not alive, or a better song, and it's gonna be amazing. Birds will fly out, dry ice, smoke machine. I don't know, I haven't bought any of the supplies. I'm not even feeling sick, but it will be amazing. And then right when everyone's like, what in the wow? I'm gonna launch my leg remains out of a t-shirt cannon, just into their open faces. Like, what is that, talcum powder? It's legs. You're at a funeral. You know it's powdered legs. Why'd you sit up front? You never even called me. But this is important to me. A couple years ago, I was on stage, or I was about to get on stage, and I got a text from my sister, and she was like, our mom died. And I was like, holy shit. And then they go, next up, Chris Fairbanks. And I went on stage, and I had the best set of my life. This is not what I planned to have happen. And then I was like, well, when I stand him right there, my mom died. And they kind of nervously laughed, and I was like, yeah, they're laughing. I have a job to do. And so my point is, if you're feeling bad, the most important thing to focus on is making other people happy. Didn't eat today. I was gonna have a banana, but they're all dead. Sometimes I buy just a bunch of bananas just to watch them die, Sometimes I buy bananas just to watch them die. Like Johnny Cash, if it was about fruit. Hey!
You want to buy a car stereo?
I have one. Hey!
Hey, you want to buy some old phone cards?
I don't. You know what? Hey!
Hey, you want to buy some old aerosol cans?
I don't need any. Oh boy.
Hey, you want to buy some tires?
You know what? I already have some. Would you maybe want to have my wallet? Okay. Okay.
Never sold me.
yeah.
Sorry, I
Everything else.
I liked it though.
I've been lonely lately, and I hate admitting this, but I got so lonely that I started putting peanut butter on my dog's balls. Okay. That joke we just tell to get some room tone. We just take it to get some room tone. We got it. Thank you.